Hey everybody, Bone Fool back at you again with a very damaged box here. This is how this came in. It was shipped from Pennsylvania. Ordered this from Buddies on their closeout deal. If you guys haven't seen Buddies closeout deals, they can be ridiculously good. So I saw the Infinity Quest there for 99 bucks. They have a 5% off promo code, which comes out to just under 95 bucks for this ball, which was a no-brainer. So I'll put all the numbers up here for you. So this ball is Infinity Quest Solid, and it comes with HK22C. It's an Evo Solid. Ball finish is Crown Factory compound, so I'll probably end up taking the compound off. RG is 2.52, differential is 0.051. Intermediate diff is 0.010. So numbers are very similar to the Zero Mercy Solid, except for the intermediate diff is a lot lower on this one. So let's take a look at this bad boy. So by the way, when this box came to me, I was worried that the ball was going to be damaged because the outer box was completely damaged and this one looked like it was all just torn apart. But luckily it's a bowling ball and there isn't any damage. Thank goodness. So how can you say no to this ball being 95 bucks? I mean, this ball is stunning looking. Looks just like the Ion Max, the original Ion Max. And I do not smell citrus, even though it's HK22C. Pretty much most HK22Cs that I know will smell like citrus. Very cool looking ball. So I'm always a big fan of solid bowling balls, and I believe this ball came out August 14th of 2025. So it got discontinued pretty much just a year under its release date. So I'm a huge sucker for discontinued bowling balls, if you couldn't tell. So I rarely buy brand new bowling balls. So when a ball that I have on my radar gets discontinued, I usually swipe it up. And there's a few websites out there that offer crazy killer deals when their balls get on closeout. Buddies being one of them. So I'm not loyal to any one specific online retailer. Pretty much just whoever has the best deal. And usually Buddies is usually the best deal for discontinued bowling balls. So they usually lower their price to like just maybe 120 bucks. And then when you wait about a month or so, if that ball hasn't sold out, they'll drop it down. And I actually got a couple other bowling balls I'm going to be doing reviews on in the next couple of weeks that I got for 85 bucks. And if you know what those are, you probably have an idea of what bowling balls those are. So I'm always a big fan of solid bowling balls just for the fact that I'm speed dominant, low rev, and solid bowling balls seem to work for me the best. So the original Beyond Infinity I had in 16 pound, and I just got rid of that just because I'm not really rolling 16 pounds. It was an experiment of mine to see how I can roll 16 pounds. And I kind of just put it down the sideline. The only 16-pound ball I have is a High Road 40, and that ball is actually pretty good. Beyond Infinity, I believe, was a hybrid, if I'm not mistaken. And then this one was the solid, and then they make an Infinity, I think it's an Infinity Quest Pearl that just came out. So I have a brand new Beyond Infinity 15-pound in box that if you watch my live streams, it's one of the choices on my wheel spin. So if you watch my live streams every month, I do once a month, you could potentially win the world's ugliest pour bowling ball. And if you know, you know. In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to lay this out. We're going to drill it up. We're going to take it down to the alley, roll a few games with it. And then I'll give you my initial opinion on this bowling ball. I do love the colors. Like I said, I love the Ion Max colors when that ball came out. And this one for 95 bucks, you can't go wrong. So hopefully it performs well for a $95 ball. This was one of Brunswick's high performance line bowling balls. So they're top of the line bowling ball. I think when this thing came out, it was probably $189. I'd have to check the prices, but it was probably up there near $190. So if you can wait a little bit and there's a ball on your radar that just came out, like the Brunswick Strategy is on my radar, and I'm hoping that ball will get discontinued very shortly, and then that's when I'll pick it up. So no need to buy brand new ever, really, unless you really, really want that bowling ball. So wait a little bit until it gets discontinued and you'll get the ball for almost half off. So let's go ahead and lay this thing out. All right, so due to my low rev, I'm speed dominant. I need the ball to do a lot of the work for me because I am rev challenged. So my layout that I'm going to go with is pretty much the layout that I put on most of my bowling balls. Is going to be 55 by 4 by 25. I mean, I can go 30 on the VAL angle. I don't think it's really going to make a lick of difference. So I just keep it go 55 by 4 by 25. The cool thing about this bowling ball, like I said in most of my other videos, is it has dot technology. So if you have the hollow circle, you can drill into that and you won't void the warranty, which is really cool, especially for a $95 bowling ball. So when you compare this ball, it's pretty much the same price, if not lower than a Hammer Raw or an entry-level ball. It's really a no-brainer to buy a ball like this. So we're gonna draw from the pin all the way down to the mass bias, which is this tiny little dot down here. And then we'll just go 55. This is the Pica Dry pencil that I'm using right now, the best pencil to use if you're doing layouts on bowling balls. I'll put the link in the description on where to find them. I usually get them on Amazon for around 10 bucks or so. And then we'll go 4-inch pin to pap. So the cool thing about the Pica Dry pencils is they come in different colors. So as you can see, the white kind of blended in with the white right there. So what I can use is, say, a blue. So we can try that again with blue. Boom. All right, double check our measurements here. 4 1/4. And 4 1/4, perfect. All right, so there is our layout. So pretty much puts the pin in the exact same location as a lot of my other layouts on my other bowling balls. All right, bring it over here. Got the 3.0 jig, which has been serving me very well. We've got the alignment rods that make the work a lot easier. I've got my XY table all lined up for the pitches, for the ring finger. I'm going to bring this down and lock it in place. And I'm going to line this line up so it's parallel to this line, and this line up here parallel. So that I got my pitches exact. 31/32 on the drill bit. And cue the music. All right, quick check of the measurements here. 4 1/4 and 4 1/4, perfect. So if you can see inside there, I think you can see inside there, how much of the core I took out, maybe about a 1/2 inch to, Yeah, probably about a 1/2 inch total in the thumb. And looks like maybe a 1/4 inch on the fingers. It's a very light colored core inside there. So not too much of the core was taken out, thank goodness. So I pretty much just go up and down around 5 times for my personal preference. And then we'll just do a quick clean of the holes here, a little bit of alcohol. All right, now the color choice. Oh, I don't have any white. Red's not gonna look good. Blue. Purple, that's an actual blue. I think white would have looked pretty cool right there, but we'll do blue right there. And then maybe yellow. What do you think? Yellow? Blue? Blue looks pretty cool. Blue is very subdued. All right, 45, 21. That's my last blue. I got to reorder. So I normally order a bunch of these on eBay. There's a seller on eBay. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he sells Turbo, Vice, and maybe Jopo. I'm not sure, but they come out to around $1.50 a piece after tax and shipping and all that stuff. So not a bad deal. If you are a consumer like me, I know pro shops may get a little bit better deal, but $1.50 a piece, not too shabby. My old PSO used to charge like $7 or $8 for each grip. Boom. My poor man's Jopo centralizer pretty much just pushes the inside of the Jopo up against the bowling ball so the glue adheres better. If you want to pay $180 for a centralizer, be my guest. One eensy tiny little drop. One little drop. Push it down. Not too shabby. Got a little bit lower right there, but not going to be too much of a factor. So it's a little bit below the bowling ball, just a tiny little bit. But all in all, pretty flush. I do not need to use the razor blade. Pretty cool. Yeah, and all I did different was glue it here and then there. Push it down. You learn something new every day. All right. I'm going to put some squiggly lines here, and then we'll cut down the Jopo, and we'll be done. If you don't have this zeroed out, you will gouge your bowling ball. Trust me. And don't forget to do that on this step. Bevel knife. Come at it at an angle. Last thing we do, take the sticker off here. And this one left a lot of goop on there. Get the marks off the ball. Very easy to get the marks off the ball. A little bit of isopropyl alcohol takes it right off. There we go. Check it out. By the way, my Jopo is worn out. This is like a 2-year-old Jopo right here. If this was a brand new one, I would need the tool to take it off and on. It's going to be too hard to do without. But the more you use your Jopo, the more it's going to break in, and you can just put that in with your thumb, no problem. So here we have it, one drilled up Infinity Quest Solid in just over 20 minutes. We got our turbo and Jopo in there. So this ball got hated by a lot of online reviewers. They didn't really like it. I know the Hype drilled a couple of them because he didn't like the first layout that he gave with it. And then I think a couple other YouTubers also talk smack about this ball. So usually when a YouTuber says a ball is crap, it usually works really well for me. So there's something weird about that. So the Ricochet Return was one of those. Everybody talks smack and it almost got a dang 300 with that thing. Let's see. Let's hope this ball works really well for me. I'm probably going to use this on the fresh, if not game 2, and I'm probably 99% going to brush the compound off. I will give it a try, maybe game 1. I'm going to try to get at least 2 or 3 games with this thing and see how well it reacts. And usually I will leave the compound on. Some of the balls, like the Track Criterion Hybrid, worked really well for me with the compound on. So it's a hit or miss for me. So we'll see. Probably game 1 I'll leave it and then maybe put a 1500 surface or 2000 surface on it if it doesn't match up for me. So with that said, enough jibber jabber. Let's go down to the local alley and roll this thing. So I'd have to say this is definitely one of the cooler looking balls in my collection. This thing really pops going down lane. And it gives me the illusion that I have more revs than I actually do, which I will take it. Being a low rev bowler, seeing the colors and the revs get up down lane is really cool looking. So I roll this post-league lane conditions pretty much like all the bowling balls that I get. I don't film during league, so what I do as the next best thing is I'll roll this post-league lane conditions. I bowl on a 3-man team, so there's still a little bit of oil left on the lane. The first game I rolled with this, I left the compound on the ball. I think I put up a 207. and it shaped surprisingly well. It was pretty good shape. It was a lot stronger than I thought it was going to be. And then for game 2, I decided to experiment and take the compound off. I put a 2000 pad to this for about 30 seconds or so. So probably not the best decision to do. If you're going to put any kind of surface on this, like anywhere from 1000 to 2000, you do it for game 1 or game 2 in league because it was ridiculously strong for the conditions. So I had to roll it a little bit faster than I normally do. But this is a pretty good ball. Now, I think this ball, in my opinion, could probably compete with the Zero Mercy Solid. Does this ball have HK22C squared? No, but it does have HK22C, which I believe is the next best thing. I don't think most people out there could tell the difference. I know I can't. You guys are looking for really good deals. I know League is starting up for a lot of you guys out there in the next week or two. You can get some killer deals right now if you look in the discontinued sections on a lot of online retailers. This one didn't get a lot of love, but I know the Infinity Quest Pearl, somebody I believe in Texas put up a 900. I'm sure you guys know about that. A 900 with the Pearl version of this ball. So do not sleep on a lot of these balls. I know Brunswick, in my opinion, is on top of their game right now with releasing a lot of bangers. Alert. You got a lot of these people are putting up really high scores with a lot of their balls. And they seem to match really well for my bowling style, which I keep gravitating towards a lot of the Brunswick brand balls just because they work for me and they're killer price. A lot of these balls can be found for under $100. And when they first come out, they're anywhere from $170 to $200. So it's kind of like a no-brainer. If you can wait a year, just put them on your radar, wait a little bit until they get discontinued, and then swipe them up. So with that said, I got 3 solids. I got 2 more that I'm going to be drilling up in the next couple weeks I'll be doing reviews on. So look forward to those. If you like the video, make sure to give me a like, comment down below. Let me know if you have the Infinity Quest Solid. What kind of scores you put up with it? Do you like it? Are you going to get it now that it's discontinued? I would highly suggest getting this ball, any ball pretty much under $100. You probably can't go wrong. And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. Turn on all your notifications because every month I do a live stream and I do giveaways on those live streams too. So you want to be there for that. So in a lot of my DIY videos, I try to cover a lot of the questions that you guys may have. And if I haven't answered any of the questions, you can email me at thebowlingfool@gmail.com. So with that said, good luck and have fun in the league starting up in the next week or two. And I will catch you all on the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.